What's good, YouTube? Donovan here, back again once again. Today, people, today we have a interesting, I guess, news video, reactionary type of video of sorts. I'm sure by now a lot of you guys have heard about the Space World 1997 Pokemon Gold beta leak, or the ROM dump that happened, where we got a lot of unused, unreleased, and original beta designs for Pokemon that we've known and loved for years now. And you guys know the situation with my computer and everything, so like I said, I think this stuff leaked last week, and if I would have had a working computer, I would have been on it day one. But needless to say, tons and tons of people have been asking me and spamming me on Twitter and on Instagram and things like, what do you think about this mod, Nappy? What do you think about this mod? So let's just go ahead and talk about it. Gosh darn it. If you guys don't know, Space World was a gaming convention that Nintendo hosted. I think they ended it in like 2001 or something like that. I've read up on it because, you know, I'm a doctor. I watched the whole first season of House. I'm practically a doctor, dog. But yeah, apparently it was a gaming convention that they used to highlight a bunch of their stuff. And in 1997, they had a beta version of Pokemon Gold. And Gold was released until 99, and a lot of things changed between that time, as you're about to see. So in the demo, up first, we have Chikorita, Bayleaf, and Meganium. And as you can see, Bayleaf's design definitely, like, you see the demo on the left hand side and the final on the right hand side, it was definitely different. It was very, very different from what we actually ended up getting, which was surprising to me because, like, when you think about these, like, changes between the games, or change between the demo and the final, you know, there are so many people that, like, I know for a fact there are so many people that love Bayleaf's design. They're just absolutely in love with it. They can't get enough. Like, just imagine if this was the design we were originally given. It looks like, what's the trash can? What's the trash can from 6th Gen? Spupa evolves into, and then into Vivillon. What is the mod? What's the mod's name? What? I can't think of it. What does Spupa evolve into? Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. What does Spupa evolve into? No, it's Scatterbug that evolves into Spupa, dog. Stupid fucking Nappy, stupid fucking Nappy. God, I'm so dumb. Okay, yeah, it looks like a Spupa. Like if Spupa had its little cloak pulled up, like an upskirt Spupa. Crazy. But I don't know, it's or like a mix of Spupa and like Swaddling. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just very interesting when you think about like all the designs that people know and love and like what they originally look like. So keep that in mind as we go through this. But definitely Bayleaf is one of them. I would say, and hey, this is the challenge that I give to you guys in the comment section. Through all the ones that are different, let me know which one you would prefer. Like, you have to choose. You have to choose. There is no like, oh, well, I like this about this mod, and I like this about its design. No, you have to choose. Which one do you like better? The original demo or the current one? So Chikorita is pretty much the same. Bayleaf, I like the Bayleaf we actually got. That was a good change in Nintendo's book. And Meganium more or less is the exact same. I think a lot of these original beta mods are thick as fuck, dog. Like, super fucking thick. Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion were entirely different mons. Entirely different Pokemon. 100% entirely different mons. Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion originally were supposed to be like a variant of a bear. Like, and what we got was a rat. Or a honey badger. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be a honey badger, I think. But it was definitely an entirely different design, definitely an entirely different thought process they had going on here with the old bear. I actually kind of like this Dynabear, whatever its Japanese name is. I can't pronounce it. Dynabear. I actually definitely like this more than Typhlosion, probably. Typhlosion, I know for myself and a lot of people, it's not the most popular starter out there. I know to the audience of this video may go out to, there's gonna be people that say, oh, well, actually, Nappy, I fucking love Typhlosion. It was my first starter mod, and I want you to know, I soloed the entire Elite Four with that Typhlosion. When all my other Pokemon died, Typhlosion stood strong, so frick you, Nappy. Frick you. Typhlosion's great. Hey, glad you love Typhlosion, but eat skeet. It's kind of just meh for me. So I actually kind of like this one a lot more. If I'm being honest with you, this entire line is dope. The third line, Totodile, Crocodile, and Feraligatr is very interesting because we actually do have starter mons right now that do look a lot like this. All the way up in 7th gen, we have Popplio, Brionne, and I got the figure for it, Primarina, right back here. God, you know, you take a month off playing Pokemon, you just forget everything, gosh darn it. But yeah, it definitely looks like a very basic version, a very basic design of Popplio, Brionne, and Primarina. Or the Aquarius, or whatever, Acuria. You guys can't see the, what is it, the name notes on the side. It's past this Japanese name column. I cropped it out. It kind of looks like a Lapras evolution, almost. Kinda, sorta. But it's definitely reminiscent of the Primarina line that we have in 7th gen. Which is interesting because, as I mentioned with Bayleaf, like the original, the difference between the two designs, it's very interesting to see like what they originally went with and how they took that original design and they may not have even completely scrapped it. You know, they have a lot of mons that are in here, as you guys will see, that ended up being in the game several generations later. It's just they had the idea for it now, and then we didn't see it until 4th gen, and 5th gen, and 6th gen, and 7th gen. But I definitely think, you know, it bears a strong resemblance to the Primarina line. Almost like a caricature of them, almost, so it's definitely interesting. Hoodoo and Noctowl. Hoodoo's pretty much the same. Noctowl, much less menacing. Original Noctowl, my nigga was the Silver Surfer, dog. He was out here ready to fuck somebody up. Why is he so angry, dog? Why is he so angry? I think the biggest difference between the two Noctowls, other than the obvious facial features, is that the original Noctowl followed the same design as the original Hoodoo, where it only stood on one foot. Because, you know, Hoodoo, they say he swaps feet so fast, you know, between his 2 feet. But Noctowl, in his final design, you see both feet. But in this one, he only has 1 foot. Very interesting. Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos pretty much stay the same. They just fine-tune their designs. Flaffy, yo, I was about to say, that neck on Flaffy and that beta is all kinds of fluffy, but then I looked at the actual one, that bitch is just as fluffy, dog. I'm trying to take a nap, dog. But then we get to some newer mons as well, and the one interesting thing about these beta mons, can we get some alpha mons in this bitch, dog? The one interesting thing about these beta mons is that there are a ton of baby Pokemon, even baby Pokemon that we haven't seen yet. Which is crazy, because up first we have this baby Vulpix. Hold on. Baby Vulpix. Baby Vulpix. Alright, people get on me all the time and say, it's not Vulpix Nappy! It's VULPIX! Not EX! It's Vulpix! Whore. I'm like, damn. You know what mod I'm talking about. Relax, dog. Relax. But a baby Vulpix is interesting. It's interesting to me because a lot of the baby mons we have now are for mons that are actually somewhat okay. Vulpix doesn't really need a baby mon because Vulpix's stats aren't all that to begin with. You know what I mean? I guess you could make that same argument for like Clefairy or Jigglypuff. You know, Jigglypuff is not like using it in game. We're not going to talk about competitive viability because the tier it's in is just bottom of the barrel. But even in game, like Jigglypuff and Clefairy are rough to use, but they got babies. So who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I think, to me, it's either they figured out they didn't want to have that many babies for mons that were already kind of middle of the road, or maybe just the design wasn't all that different. It kind of just already looks like a Vulpix. Like, it's smaller, so baby, but it already looks like a Vulpix, so why? Just get rid of it. Then we have a baby Tangela, and what is so very obviously Tangrowth. So again, this is the first example of a mon that we've seen that was originally supposed to be in Gen 2 that we didn't even get until Gen 4. It's wild. Baby Tangela, and then Tangrowth as well involved. Baby Tangela, it just looks so emo with that fringe. Like, dog, what's going on, bro? What's going on, bro? And Tangrowth, it looks like, again, a very super ultra beta version of it. There's no mistaking it for what it is. I do like the actual Tangrowth we have now more, though. It's just too uniform. Like, especially in the back sprite, it's like, nigga's got a pretzel on his head. Like, what's going on? Oh, and he's in this bitch. But Yo, speaking of pronunciation, do y'all say aunt or aunt? Because I always said aunt. And if you say aunt, you have Aunt Annie's. Like, the place is not called Aunt Annie's. That didn't even sound right. It's Aunt Annie's. Right? An ant's what crawls around on the ground. So don't sit there and call your aunt an ant. Back to reality. But yeah, it's got a pretzel in its hair. It just looks too uniform. And you could chalk that up to it just being second gen design. You know, the Game Boy Color was limited then or whatever. But it just, I don't know. It's just, dog, I would just rather just keep the Tangrowth we have now. You can't even really speak on baby mons like that, because I know I've laid down the challenge of do you like the designs now or then, but these mons don't have designs now, so you can't even talk about them like that. But the mons that do, I would say Tangrowth now is much better design than this Tangrowth here. Up next we have Mantine Qwilfish, and it was really interesting because, like, this Mantine, it looks nothing like the Mantine we have now. It almost looks like a mix of like Togekiss and Articuno. Like, it's like, this is probably the most radical design change out of everything on here, is this Mantine. The original Mantine to the Mantine we have now. Like, its back sprite looks like Kyogre almost. So they were just all over the place with Mantine to begin with. The only thing that even looks the same is its mouth. Like, other than that, even then its mouth. This Mantine clearly has teeth. This Mantine doesn't. He is sucking on something. He is sucking on something, goddammit. We have Qwilfish's original design. Pretty much looks the same. And then apparently Qwilfish got an evolution. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. The name explanation off to the side says num. Was it a numfish? I get it, because like Qwilfish have like poison in them and whatnot. So would it have been numfish? Dog, would Nexus have made his mascot Qwilfish's evolution? Yo, I need to get Nexus on the line right now and ask him, what are your thoughts on Qwilfish, dog? I think Nexus likes Qwilfish. Qwilfish was a proud member of the Tucson Terrakion Season 1, so I'd be down with it, goddammit. I would be 100% down with a Qwilfish evolution. That's super duper dope. Could you imagine an Eevee-like Qwilfish? Dog, that nigga's never dying. He's never dying. Up next, we have a whole bunch of baby mons. Pichu's original design. This nigga was rough. This nigga was rough. Original Pichu was rough, dog. Holy shit. Cleffa, dog. What's going on? What's going on, Cleffa? Igglybuff, boy, I just want to step on you. I just want to step on you. I'm glad they changed you up. Original Cleffa, though, Cleffa looks like one of them toys. Not Lincoln Logs, not Legos, but like, they had those toys where they had like the knob on one end and you would like pop it into place, right? And then you can move it around. I don't know what the name of it is. But I know if I saw it, I don't know. I just don't know, but that's what it fucking looks like. Like, there's like supposed to be like a C-clamp that goes on top of it, and then it makes like a joint that you can move around. This is super suggestive, I know, but hey, I'm not 4 years old. I don't make content for 4-year-olds. I know we're talking about Pokemon, but let's be real. Pokemon, even though it's marketed to kids, there's so much more behind it. It's not a game made for kids. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, my boy Quagsire is next. Oh, my boy had a stomach, dog. Look at this gut. Oh boy. Oh my god. I wish, you know, I set this thing up to record right now. Like this style to record, like me right here, and then over here you get the image, so like you get what I'm seeing at the same time. And I'm sure it works out fine, but I wish I had like down here at the bottom, like, or like beneath me right here, like a more zoomed in version. That'd be super lit. But this boy got a stomach on him. God damn, this original one is thick as shit, dog. Holy fuck, that's dope, dog. I see this one. I know I skipped out on a whole bunch of these, but I would prefer this Quagsire to the one we have. The one we have looks like a... I'd like this video to stay monetized, so never mind. But my boy had a tummy, dog. He had a tummy on him, dog. That's probably what I'd name him, just Tummy. I would name that boy Tummy. Natu and Xatu pretty much look the exact same, so you can't really say much about that. He's got more elbows in his back sprite. That's the first thing I noticed. The back sprite we got, he's much more clean, refined, and slimmed down. And this one, my boy, looks like he got elbows on top of elbows, dog. Yikes. Up next, we have a baby Goldeen. Should I let that sit in just and settle for a second? Baby Goldeen. don't even know what to say. Like, no, it's just not needed. I'm Nintendo or Game Freak or Pokemon. I'm glad you didn't include that one. I have to say that much right now. I'm glad you didn't include that one. Please and thank you. You did not include that one. Hats off to you. Baby Goldeen, I think that probably would have been, like, the only thing that would have been worse than a baby Goldeen would be like a baby Diglett. I think baby Diglett maybe. You know what? I'm going to do my research right now. I want to go and see. Goldeen is, because we have Cleffa and Jigglypuff as well. Baby Goldeen is overall, survey says, a base stat total of, oh my god, there's so much to scroll through, Jesus fuck. Base stat total of 320. Goldeen has a base stat total of 320. I'm gonna look up Jigglypuff, because I feel like Jigglypuff has a higher base stat total than Clefairy. Maybe. Clefairy might have more, because I mean, both mons are thick as shit, dog. Jigglypuff has a base stat total of 270. What did I just say about Goldeen? Was it 230? I'm getting so off track here. I apologize. It's been a while since I made videos. 320. Never mind. That means Baby Goldeen would have had a higher base stat total than Cleffa and Igglybuff. Dog. That's wild. Never mind. Pokemon, bring Baby Goldeen back, dog. I mean, just Babymons themselves are just there for aesthetic purposes because their stats are just so fucking trash, dog. Like, you can't use a Babymon in game. There's no using it in competitive, and there's 100% no using it in a Nuzlocke. You can't use a Babymon in a Nuzlocke. If there's one thing I know, it's Nuzlocke. I like how I say competitive. I'd say 100% you can't use it in a Nuzlocke because there's not even any, like, conversation about using it in competitive. I mean, I guess if you want to play that tier specifically, sure. Because I know we did that one off-season of UCL where we did LC Mons. And I know we had Magby and whatnot, but still, like, Baby Goldeen, what's going on here? Marrow is actually, I like, the original Marrow was pink. I like pink Marrow. But I like the design of Marrow that we got. Like, the design, yes. If we had this design with this color palette, that'd be dope. I like pink Marrow. Not that I don't like blue Marrow, but this Marrow, your feet way too big, dog. Feet way too big. Up next, there is no comparison for these two. But it's more or less given that this is Carvanha and Sharpedo. And it's very interesting because this Sharpedo had an anchor hanging off of him, which I think is a wild ass radical fucking design. I can see why they didn't keep it because its back sprite is kind of gruesome. It's kind of, you know, it's just a chain, like it's spine hanging out of his back. So I can understand why they didn't go with it or why they altered it for Gen 3, because basically all they did was just remove the chain and you have Sharpedo. I mean, look at his front sprite right here. You just remove the chain and you have Sharpedo chopped off right there in half. So, I mean, it's cool. I like the design. But again, it's an example of a mon that we're supposed to be in Gen 2 that we didn't get till Gen 3. A trend continues again because this nigga's name is Grotesque. It continues again because we have this eel lantern looking thing. But I'm pretty sure this is not Gorbis, Huntail. Huntail is chilling here. I love how in the color scheme he's just jet black, dog. Like that nigga, this is Jay when he's swimming underwater, dog. This nigga just, ooh, that boy is spooky. But he did have the little light hanging off his forehead. He's obviously some deep sea creature. But it's apparently an early version of Huntail. Crobat was looking pretty menacing. And you want to talk about another like completely useless baby mon? I understand why they got rid of it. Look at baby Paris, dog. What are you doing? I have to know. Who at Game Freak sat down and was given the task, was tasked with coming up with a list of baby Pokemon, and sat down and said, Goldeen, yeah, Paris, yes, give me Paris. I need baby Paris. No one needs a baby Paris. I mean, it's kind of dope in the design aspect because it's literally the inception of what Parasect ends up being. It's a parasite that's literally in the mushroom. It's taking over. This nigga is DJ Khaled out here. Like, he's literally taking over the mushroom. So it's kind of cool in that sense. You get to see what the actual parasite itself is. But at the same time, it goes with the whole conversation of, like, what would baby Goldeen's stat totals look like? What would this baby Paris' stat totals look like? I'm not using baby Paris at all, dog. With only my luck, this be some shit where I go to get my Rayquaza in my Emerald Really Randomized Nuzlocke 20 years later, and this nigga's level 70 baby Paris. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, goddammit. 20 years from now, we're gonna have baby Paris, goddammit. No, keep it. I'm very happy you kept this one. Spinarak's original design was super rough. Ariados' design was super rough. I don't know why it looked like their back spikes look like they're hanging from the ceiling. Dog, put your feet on the ground. I don't need you looking at me like that, dog, at all. Please, no thank you. Paris, I'm not Paris. I'm so triggered up with baby Paris. Spinarak's original design in the game was dope as shit. It was like this blue and purple. The color palette for Gen 2 was wild. It was very, very wild and very, very wacky and off the top. And they ended up fixing a lot of it in Gen 3. Like, if you go look at Bellossom from Gen 2 to Gen 3. Bellossom in Gen 2 was wild, dog. This is another one. I like the Spinarak Ariados that we got, but I specifically like Gen 2 Spinarak because he's purple and blue, and that's just lit. That's just lit. Skarmory didn't change much at all, just a color palette. This little nigga right here, this ugly cum stain of a Pokemon, is apparently, if I'm understanding it correctly, supposed to be an evolution of Ditto, I think. I think I read on Twitter somewhere that apparently you're supposed to give Ditto a metal coat and it would evolve into this thing. No. If there's a Mon that doesn't need a pre-evolution or an evolution, if there's a Mon that its entire shtick, its entire point has already been perfectly utilized, it's Ditto. Ditto is just fine the way it is. You don't need all this extra shit. No. Again, it's another one of those things where I'm glad you kept it. Because, like, what would happen? You would have a metal coat on a Ditto, and would this Mon transform as well? Yeah, it says over here at the side. Yo, they have all the deets. They have all the deets. Whoa! Whoa! I didn't even see this other column. Basically, on the webpage I'm looking at where my face will be, there's a column that explains. Let me see what the type of this. It's notes. Oh. We're not missing a whole bunch. It's baby Vulpix evolves at level 13. Baby Tangela evolves at level 22. Early Tangrowth evolves at level 44. Early Qwilfish evolves at level 18 into the Qwilfish evolution. Early Quagsire. Apparently, Natu into Xatu was supposed to evolve with a Heartstone. Baby Goldeen evolves at level 16. Marrow never had an evolution. Crazy. At level 19. Oh, yo, wait, they all evolved into each other. Whoa, okay, so this Carvanha evolved at level 19 into this Sharpedo looking thing at level 38. Oh, whoa, I read that wrong. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, it's Carvanha and Sharpedo, like we said, and then Huntail. I read that wrong. Crazy. Baby Paris evolves at level 12. Skarmory's almost identical to the same, but then this one, yeah, evolves from Ditto with Metal Coat, influence metal powdered held item. I don't want, like, you would have a Ditto that would evolve and, like, add steel typing? It's with a Metal Coat? Is that what's going on? We could have a steel type Blastoise, water steel. You know, if you have a secondary type, or if you have a dual type Mon, would it replace the secondary typing with steel? Would it replace the primary typing with steel? Like, how would that work? Like, what were you thinking? I'm glad whoever was in charge at Game Freak at the time scrapped that one. That's one I'm just definitely not a fan of. Up next, we have a baby Doduo that evolves level 16 into Doduo. Baby Doduo? Like, Dodu, no. I don't need it, dog. I don't need it. Early Sunflora, apparently there was no sun current this time. And look at baby Phanpy! Oh my god. Oh, stop. Oh my god, I need it. Look at him. Look at his back sprite. Look at him sitting. Look at him sitting down. Why did you make him stand up, Game Freak? Why? I need names, phone numbers, email addresses. Why? Why did you make Fanpy stand up? Let him sit down again. He is too cute, too adorable, too adorable. Donovan is basically the exact same. Apparently this mon, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think its slot was replaced with Mischievous, but apparently it's supposed to be a dark normal ghost. Do we even have dark normal? That's not a typing we have right now, is it? If it is, I'm spacing out on it. I don't think we even have a dark normal type mon right now. But apparently it was supposed to evolve at level 29. Oh, does it evolve into Girafarig? It doesn't say it evolves into Girafarig, but it's got its spot in the Pokédex before Girafarig. Yeah, it does. Never mind. Yeah. Apparently it was Girafarig's evolution. It was supposed to evolve in Girafarig, and Girafarig was supposed to be dark normal. I get it, because it's light and dark. Dark normal. Whoa! But then they made it psychic normal. Crazy. I guess they figured dark normal was... I'm getting that mixed up with ghost normal. I was about to say, it would be too broken. Because it wouldn't have a weakness at this point in the game. Because the only thing at this point in the game that would have been super effective on dark would have been fighting a bug. And if it was... I was sitting here thinking it was ghost, that fighting would be super effective, but that's not how it is. No, why'd they change it from dark normal? That would have been so much doper. I like this version of Girafarig so much better than what we have now. I like Girafarig now, but dark normal with the two heads with the pre-evolution, that would have been dope as shit, dog. What the fuck? That would have been dope. Smeargle's basically the exact same. He looked a little more hipstery, a little more jankster. This is a baby evolution that we 100% need. We 100% need. Yes, look at how adorable. Look at his back sprite. Baby Meowth. It evolves into Meowth at level 14. It's so adorable. It's sleeping. It's snoozing. I would love to have baby Meowth. That's dope. This next one, apparently, everyone and their fucking mother has lost their mind over. It's a dark black cat. Female only and evolves at level 28. So you get to see the Mon. It's got a little bell on its tail. And then it has a full-on, needs more cowbell on its tail when it evolves. I mean, it's cool. Obviously, Twitter and Tumblr and everybody else is spazzing out because it's a black cat. But it kind of looks like an early version of Litten. Kinda. You know, it's a dark-type kitty. But I don't know. It would have been dope to have. Kind of like a counterpart to Houndoom, I guess. Like if Houndoom was male only, this could be like a female only. So it's cats and dogs, male and female. That would have been dope. Politoed was a mob boss, my nigga. Back in the original gold beta, this nigga was out here sending these Poliwags out to do his bidding. That nigga had Poliwrath as a heavy fucking Poliworld out here collecting money, payments, dog. This nigga, look at him. He is content. He had himself a good meal. He is fucking content. They changed him from this smug, angry ass mob boss into this water bubblegum, dog. I don't know what happened, but it's, again, evolves from Poliwrath with a Heartstone. What's going on? What is a Heartstone? Why don't we have a Heartstone in the game? I want this bitch. I want this bitch. It's not a King's Rock because up next we have Slowking and it says evolves from Slowbro with a King's Rock. Its front sprite's the exact same. So what the fuck is a Heartstone? Where it at? Bring it to me. I need that shit right now. Unknown's about actually the same. Ladybug was a bit thicker and a little more hunchback in his original sprite. Ladyin had a complete evolution. Like, what is this, dog? This is a Ladybug. This is a Ladybug. It's not Ladyin. 100% much more happy with the Ladyin we have now than this Ladyin. 100%. This Ladyin, I don't know. I don't know this. I don't recognize this. What is this? What's going on? Baby Ponyta, it evolves at level 20. That's another one of those mons where, like, when I step back and think about it, like, Rapidash is cool, but it's just so... it needs work. It definitely needs work. If there's a mon that needs a Mega Evolution or something, it's Rapidash, dog. Like, Rapidash can only do one thing. It can outspeed sometimes and hit hard once. And that's it, because anything that comes after that is breaking Rapidash in half. Ponyta is that times 10. It's rough using a Ponyta on a Rapidash to any sort of extent. So a baby Ponyta would have been ultra rough to use in game. I don't know. That's a quest I'm not willing to take. That's That's a fucking field research I picked up that I just trash bagged right away. Like, I'm not ready for that baby Ponyta. I mean, it's dope, it's cute, but I can see why they took a lot of these baby mons out, because there really is no difference in design. You know, like the baby mons like Igglybuff and Cleffa, like they resemble what they evolve into, but they're not identical to what they evolve into. You know, like it's not just Clefairy shrunk. You know, like baby Vulpix, baby Ponyta, what are a couple other ones? Baby Paris, kind of. Baby Goldeen is a good example. Baby Goldeen, baby Vulpix, baby Ponyta, they all literally look just like what they're meant to evolve into, just shrunk versions of it. So it's like there's really no point in having the exact same mon with lesser stats. Like, no. Espeon and Umbreon, to be honest, they could have just kept Umbreon out the game, goddammit. Get him out of here. But early Espeon evolved with from Eevee with a Heartstone, and early Umbreon evolved from Eevee with a Poison Stone. So, it's interesting that they had all these different routes that they were considering, and it never ended up making it to the game. Early Umbreon was a Poison type. Well, that changed by the time the final game came out. That nigga was a Dark type. What the fuck? They could have just kept him out the game altogether. Espeon, keep Espeon in. Next, this mon is called Turban. It's fucking Slowking's helmet and Slowbro's tail is Turban. It's just called Turban. It's a water type Slowking shell, no direct relation to Slowpoke or Shelter Lines. Who knows what this was supposed to do? I am kind of glad it didn't actually end up in the game, because it would have been such a niche specific mon. Like, there would have been no point, no use in running this mon for any other, like, it's literally just exists to give Slowking and Slowbro, like, legitimacy. It's like to explain what's going on. Because, like, there's no future for this mon. You're gonna give this mon an evolution? We're gonna get a baby mon? A smaller version of this mon? Like, just keep it. Baby Grimer. Evolves into Grimer level 19. Like, why? Why? Like, they just went wild with these babies, dog. Like, we don't need a baby Grimer. That's another one of those things we don't need. I mean, it's cute as shit. Don't get me wrong. But, like, again, using Grimer in-game is tough enough as it is. Muck is dope. I love when Muck is dope. But, like, baby Grimer, my little grimy nigga, like, I don't know. No. Just keep that. Remoraid evolves into Octillery level 34. It's kind of sort of the exact same. Remoraid is a little thicker in the behind, but it really goes to show like the original intent with it and how they scaled it back. And you gotta think, like, did Nintendo pressure them to scale it back so it's more family friendly, or was that like their goal to begin with? Because clearly Remoraid is a gun. Remoraid is a pistol, and our fucking artillery. It's an artillery cannon. It's literally a tank. Like, that's what this nigga is literally designed to be. That's why he has bullet seed and all these different things, and he shoots all this shit out of his mouth, because it's a very scaled back version of what they were originally intended to be. They were actually just weapons. They had weapons, and you know what's crazy is that I joked about that a couple years back. I remember this. I made a tweet talking about, like, we're gonna get a gun Pokemon, because I think I was joking about Vanillish and Garbodor and all these mons that are like based after items. And I was like, here comes Gen 7, we're gonna have a gun Pokemon, or we're gonna have a silverware Pokemon or some shit. I don't know, but it's really interesting to see the original design of these, because Remoraid was actually a fucking pistol, and Octillery, his name is Artillery. Like, he was literally a cannon. He was literally a tank. Like, that's dope as shit. Tyrogue and Hitmontop looking real rough, dog. Looking real rough, dog. I definitely like the final versions much better. Original Tyrogue, this nigga's name is gone. Early Tyrogue evolves level 15. Early Tyrogue looks like Teddiursa, which again, I mentioned how they had these designs in Gen 2 that they ended up recycling or reusing in later generations. And I think this is one of them. You know, he looks like Teddiursa with gloves on. Why did I say Teddiursa? Teddiursa Gen 2. I meant Spinda. That's what I was talking about. It looks like a Spinda with gloves on. And it's, I don't know. It looks very basic, very rough. It does not look like anything that would evolve into Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee, let alone Hitmontop. This nigga Hitmontop has one eye. Or am I seeing that wrong? Am I seeing it wrong? Is it upside down? He's meant to have, like, are these his eyes? And then, what the fuck is this supposed to be then? I don't know. All I know is I definitely like the Hitmontop and the Tyro that we have now, that we know and love, and not so much these beta designs here. Let's keep those out of here. Up next, we have Baby Growlithe. Why? This nigga, like, what's with the ears? He's got, it doesn't look, it looks like, if you told me, like, what is this supposed to be, I would say Baby Growlithe, but it's very, very not like actual Growlithe in Arcanine. Like, it's a very far stretch, even for a beta version. It's just, I'm glad you kept that with Baby Vulpix and Baby Paris and all the rest of them. Glad you held on to that. Hoppip, Skip, and Jumpluff underwent crazy changes. Crazy changes. They were meant to be cats originally. They were meant to be cats. And they evolved it, because you can see, like, the tails and everything. They were meant to originally be modeled after cats, and I'm glad that they cut that out, because early Jumpluff, I like, again, I challenge you guys, which ones do you like better? The original beta ones or these ones? I like the actual Hoppip, Skip, Jumpluff that we have now, not these original ones. I'm glad they strayed away from that design and went more with the actual floral aspect that we have now. Jumpluff is dope. I don't know why. That's a crazy ass sentence to say, I know, but Jumpluff is just dope. It's cool. I like Jumpluff. I don't have a reason to dislike Jumpluff. Skip Plume is rough to use. I know how much. Hoppip is extra rough to use, but I like Jumpluff. Jumpluff's cool. Then we have Mime Jr., who is lined up, and there's no doubt about who this nigga is. You can look at it and tell it's Mime Jr. It's in the decks next to Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby, just like their evolutions. Mime Jr., my nigga, we didn't see him until 4th gen, but he is here, looking like a whole ass gumball with a hat, dog. Holy shit. It's early Mime Jr. evolves at level 15 into Mr. Mime. Very interesting. Very interesting design. I can't come up with a reason as to why they, or like a speculation as to why they kept it out, especially because they kept the other 3 mons, Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby, alongside him in the deck. So why make Mr. Mime wait so long? I don't get it. I feel like that's one of the things where they had a reason. Maybe the design was too basic, because like the rest of these designs are much more intricate. I mean, I know Elekid's kind of looking basic there, but there's a lot more detail involved in the other ones. So maybe they just felt like it wasn't ready, and I guess maybe it was just it was a guilt trip. And in 4th gen, they were like, you know what, we fucked around with this. Let's let him join his fellow mons in the decks and get his pre-evolution. So Mime Jr. is chilling there. Smoochum, Elekid, and Magby. Elekid, I definitely like the one we ended up with. This one is way too basic, way too rough. Smoochum, this little baby mod looked like she about 45 years old, asking, may I please speak to the manager? Like, holy shit, this baby Smoochum is rough, dog. But why they make Smoochum look so goddamn angry? I don't get that. Like, it's just so angry. I think Elekid, this Elekid that we have now, the one we know and love, I like much better. This Smoochum, I like better than the Smoochum we have. Like, this Smoochum, she's just got poise, she's got class, she's just all out here, dog. Like, hey, what the fuck is happening, dog? Trying to suck some dick tonight. And then we have my boy, Magby, and I honestly don't know which one I like better. Like, this one, like the original one, is just like an edgier version of the Magby we have now. It's dope, but I fucking love how adorable Magby became. Magby's so fucking adorable. That's one of the reasons I love it so much. Like, I don't know, I like both designs. I can't choose. I can't choose. You won't make me choose. I made you choose, but I won't choose. I refuse. I like both designs for him. Early Bellossom, again, like the color scheme for Bellossom and Gen 2 is just wacky. It's wonky. It's weird. But early Bellossom is very akin to early Jinx, where we have the black face going on here. Like, why? Who decided to make a jet black Pokemon? Looks like a mammy over here running around. We have a different Weaving Bell evolution. It evolves from a Weaving Bell with a Poison Stone. So this would have been an evolution like Slowpoke to Slowbro, or a better example is like Poliwag to Poliwhirl to either Poliwrath or Politoed. So you would have Bellsprout, Weaving Bell, and either Victory Bell or whatever this mon is. Victory Bell was Victory Bell supposed to be a flycatcher plant or whatever the actual name for it is, and this is like business suit. He's about to run for office, like running around out here with this pantsuit on. I don't know what, it's weird. I don't know what plant it'll be based off of. It kind of looks like PD Piranha almost. Maybe that's what it is. It's a piranha plant. You had the flycatcher, and now you have a piranha plant, dog. Or is the piranha plant a flycatcher? I don't fucking know my plants. I don't know it that well. I gotta go talk to Montgomery. No, he was snakes. Fuck. I'm going through it, dog. I'm going through it. Whoa. Up next, we have thick, super thick ass Miltank, dog. Like, look at these nipples are about to pop off. They are squirting everywhere, dog. What's going on? Whoa. Holy shit, Miltank was thick as fuck, dog. Like, he was sitting on his ass. I mean, I guess this one's kind of sitting on his ass. I always saw, like, the actual Miltank sprite is kind of like in the middle of a jig, or I guess kind of. This nigga was straight Snorlaxing, sitting on his ass. Miltank was so fat, like, Jesus Christ. I'm glad they slimmed it back a little bit, but Jesus, Miltank was out here ready to serve anybody. You just let me know. Hit you over here with that milk, hit you over here with that milk, like, whoa. Up next, we have a mod that's completely unreleased. Like, whoa. Like, we've seen pre-evolution baby mods, we've seen evolutions, alternate evolutions, but aside from the starters, we haven't seen a mod that just hasn't come to fruition yet at all. This bomb seal was water fire. So before Volcanion, they originally they had plans for a water fire type. And that just goes to show like how sneaky and how, well, sneaky has a negative connotation to it, but like how calculated everything is. Like, people have been, before Volcanion was a thing, people were like demanding a water fire type, like, we need this in that game, where is it? Game Freak, what's wrong with you? And they're sitting there, they don't say shit, all the stuff's under wraps. They've had this shit for 20 fucking years, dog. That water fire seal is dope. That water fire seal is dope. And it's very interesting now, all this has been leaked. Will they actually bring these mons into a future release, into a future game? Will we see a variation of this water fire seal sometime soon? Only thing is, I would want to have an evolution. Maybe since this is water fire, make it like a fire version of the Walrein line, maybe. Because I feel like just this water fire seal by itself can't have that great of stats. It can't. It's just like, I know I keep resorting back to talking about the stats of the mons, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if the mon doesn't have that good of stats, it's not going to get that much use. Perfect example, Delibird. My nigga Delibird. He is chilling over here. Originally he was water ice, not ice flying. But he's chilling down here. He had a heart on his stomach and a goddamn Santa hat, a full-fledged Santa hat on. I like how they kind of like Delibird, like the one we actually have now. I like the Delibird we know and love now more than this beta version. But the Delibird, like, I like how they changed it and made it like it give you an illusion that he has a Santa hat on, not just a whole ass Santa hat. Yeah, like, it's just like, dog, like, I don't like it. It's kind of a, not like a deal breaker for me, but it's kind of a pet peeve when I see mons that are supposed to be wearing clothing, but it's like there's no explanation for it. It's just a part of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to go through the decks, come up with a perfect example. I want to say like Hitmonchan. Like, Hitmonchan kind of wears that skirt or that whatever thing he has on. But it's never explained, or at least I've never had an explanation of like what it is or why it's wearing it. It's just always been accepted as part of Hitmonchan. So it's just like, I don't like when like they have clothes and it's a part of their body. So I definitely like this version of Delibird more than the beta version. We got some more unreleased mons. Very happy about. Almost Togedemaru-esque. But it was supposed to be an electric tiger, which is dope as shit. It's got an evolution. Like what the fuck? Like, where is this tiger at? The base stage definitely resembles Togedemaru. 100% looks like Togedemaru. But if that's the case, if they did use this design for Togedemaru, that means we're never gonna get this little tiger dude. We're never gonna get to see this evolution, this electric tiger, and that makes my little nappy heart hurt, dog. It makes it hurt because he's adorable as shit. He's dope as shit. And then look at this nigga right here, dog. Look at this nigga right here. When I was in the car, we were coming from the gym. Me and Mo was like, they have a Swanna evolution. I said, what? And I looked at it. I was like, Mo, that's Farfetchd, dog. What do you mean? It is a evolution of Farfetchd. Farfetchd apparently evolves in this level 24. This is dope. I like it. Farfetchd has always been that little dude that kind of just chills on the side. Like, Farfetchd is a perfect example of what I was talking about with this bomb seal. Like, a mon can be dope, but if the mon doesn't have like the weight behind it, it's just, you're just never gonna see it. It's gonna become forgotten almost. Farfetchd is a perfect example of that. Like, Farfetchd is dope and everyone knows and loves Farfetchd, but you don't ever see Farfetchd used that often because Farfetchd isn't that dope. I mean, isn't that good overall. It's dope, but it isn't that dope. But if you had given it an evolution like this, that would have been cool. I think it says evolves from Farfetchd level 24. I think it should be like 34, more so, because Farfetchd is good in early parts of the game. You know, when you're fighting mons that aren't super high level, you're never gonna see anyone with a Farfetchd on their team fighting the 8th gym badge or 8th gym leader or in the Elite Four. But early on, it wouldn't be too terrible, and I think, you know, 34 is a nice middle of the road evolution level. That was one thing that I always had an issue with growing up, because like, you can take a mon all the way up to level 100, but like your starters, for example, evolve at level 16 roughly, and then 36 for the most part, and then you have 60 levels where nothing else happens. So that's why when people are like, oh, it's so unfair that I Dragon evolved so late, well, it's like, no, I kind of like that. I kind of like that, you know, you have to train your mons. You have to spend time with it. You have to go through it to get your mons to evolve. Like, that's, like, I don't know. I just, ever since I was a little kid, I remember, I can even see it in my head where I was at. Because my mom, she was a part of this community choir that she formed, and they went to this, like, rec building center thing to perform or to practice every week. And I remember I was playing Pokemon there once, and I remember literally looking at the wall with the art on it and everything, thinking to myself, like, why does Charizard evolve 36 and I'm stuck with him for 60 levels? Why? Like, why can't you space that out a bit more? I don't know. It is what it is. But still, Farfetchd evolution, dope. Where it at, Game Freak? Where it at? Then we have this ghost doll thing. It's a voodoo doll, which again I can see they took out of the game because it might have been a little too mature, I guess. But it evolves at level 1 into Pangshi. And I don't know if this is supposed to be Pangshi? The little panda thing down here? They're both ghost types, and this is a panda. So I'm not sure. It's like, I can see why they took it out because it's kind of spooky. It's kind of creepy-ish. It says it evolves level 1. So what's the point behind that? Do you have level 0 mons? Does it hatch as this and then it evolves into the panda immediately? I don't know. The panda's kind of dope. Not really feeling the voodoo doll. This is the test group going on right here, right now. Game Freak, not really feeling the voodoo doll. But the panda's dope. Where's the panda at, dog? We don't have a panda Pokemon. Spinda. Does Spinda count? Spinda. Panda. Duh. Okay, but I don't want Spinda. I want like a big meaty panda, dog. I want a gorilla too. This is the test group. I'm telling you what I want right here, right now. Give me a legendary trio of a gorilla, a panda, and a dolphin, damn it. That's what I want. That could be water, ground, grass. Yeet ski. That ground, the ground panda, ground gorilla, ground dolphin, dog. It's a land dolphin, dog. Anyways, enough of the focus group. Murkrow is up next. Blissey and Scizor. Blissey's original design was much more... I'd like to keep this video monetized, so I'll keep it to myself. But original Blissey was very interesting, to say the least. I like the version of Blissey we have now much more. I kind of skipped all over Murkrow. Murkrow, again, like the thing with Delibird, like I'm glad, it's so obvious that it's a witch's hat. Glad they kept it, but it's not super duper apparent. Like you don't have the curvature and everything. Blissey, I like this design much more. It's much more akin to Chansey. Like I couldn't see a Chansey evolving into this. You know, this almost looks like a pre-evolution for Chansey. This, I like the Blissey we have now much more. Same goes for Scizor. Scizor, clearly I can see they wanted to keep the color scheme that Scyther had. Even like his back spray, it's literally Scyther's head. But I like Scizor being red. It definitely makes him stand out, and it makes it feel significantly different from its evolution. You know, it's like the whole conversation I had about Baby Mons, where it's like, I can see why they took some out because it was too similar to its regular form. And I like that about Scizor, or Scyther to Scizor. This one is too similar to actually Scyther. I like Scizor having, like, you can look at him and tell, like, if you gave me a lineup of what Scizor's pre-evo was, you know, I could pick Scyther out from that. but it's like they have their own unique attributes and qualities, and I'm down with it. I like it. I like it. I like it. This nigga up next. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's talk Game Freak. We got to talk about. This is apparently an evolution for Pinsir, but I think it eventually ended up becoming Heracross. I gotta say, we need to fire whoever originally came up with this, and we need to promote whoever said, wait, fuck that, Heracross. Heracross is dope. Heracross is much better than this. I'd rather Pinsir have no evolution than this. This is terrifyingly dumb. I do not like this design. This is probably the least favorite thing that's on here. Like, it's cool and wacky and wild to see and like, whoa, 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 holy shit, dog. But no, Heracross is a much better. I'm glad you went with Heracross and not this weird Pinsir Heracross hybrid. I guess that's why Game Freak's always kind of coupled the two of them together. Because, you know, in Gen 1, it was always Scyther and Pinsir. But then Gen 2 came out and all of a sudden it was Pinsir and Heracross. Even all the way up to Gen 6. When they got Mega Evolutions, they were announced next to each other, and even where you find them, they're version exclusives. You find them both in Sandalwood Forest. So I like how like Scyther kind of just got pushed to the side. I mean, I guess they kind of coupled them with Steelix a little bit. That might just be me. Maybe they're like Metal Coat buddies, where it's Steelix and Scizor, so they're kind of coupled together. I see Scizor and Steelix more like that, more so than Scyther and Onix. I don't really couple Scyther and Onix together. Because again, like you think Scyther and Pinsir, like that's just like that's Gen 1, like that's bug types for Gen 1. Scyther and Pinsir, those are the big bad bug types. But then Gen 2 came out, all of a sudden it's Pinsir and Heracross, and Scyther just got forgotten. But who would have known? Scizor ended up becoming the better of all of them. So fuck it. Up next we have Houndour and Houndoom. Their designs are pretty much the exact same. Again, much thicker in their original designs. I think I like the one that we actually got to keep much better than the beta one. Then we have this werewolf mon. It's an ice type, so there's speculation of it being Snover and Abomasnow. First thing I thought, because when I saw it, was this is supposed to be a beta version of Gen 2. This is Swinub and Piloswine, so they're saying that as well. But it's also speculating that it could have influenced Snover and Abomasnow. I can kind of see that, but I think with the brown color palette, the fact that it's a basic to a stage 1, I'm feeling a little more Swinub Piloswine from this, especially because Swinub and Piloswine aren't included on this list. So I'm definitely feeling that a little bit more in this slot for Swinub and Piloswine. It would have been interesting to see what a potential Mamoswine for this line would have been. I feel like it would have been kind of like a mixture between Mamoswine and Abomasnow, almost. But even then, like, if this influenced Snover and Abomasnow, this was 2 generations before they even came out. If they were to have, basically, like, the idea for what this was, they changed the design and gave the idea to Swinub and Piloswine, but then they took the design itself and made Snover and Abomasnow out of it, which is dope. You know, they took one mon, one design, and split it into 2 different mons, and I think that's super duper dope. But that doesn't mean that we still can't get this ice werewolf. Where this shit at, Game Freak? Where it at? Well, as we're nearing the end of our list here, up next we have a very interesting boy indeed. Porygon 2. I don't really know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this. It looks like a balloon animal? I don't know who at Game Freak thought Porygon should evolve into a balloon animal. Why? Is that what Porygon is supposed to be? A balloon animal? I definitely like the sleek Porygon 2, where it literally just looks like Porygon, just upgraded. It looks like a newer, sleeker version of Porygon. So I definitely much prefer the one that we have now. I wouldn't mind if they brought this back as like a split evolution, maybe, where it's like you have an upgrade and you get Porygon 2, and then you have a downgrade and you get this evolution or whatever. And then hey, maybe Porygon 2 is a more offensive and this one's a more defensive one, because you know it's round and thick and bubbly or whatever. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what you were thinking with this. Who knows, dog? I like the Porygon 2 we know and love now. Apparently this next one is an early version of Licky Licky. needless to say, the Licky we have now, as goofy as he is, I much rather prefer to this one. I much rather prefer to this one. And again, it goes back to the point of, hey, this is a Mon that was originally thought of in 2nd gen that we didn't see till 4th gen. So I'm glad you kept it. You held this one back. You refined it and gave us the Licky that we have now, because this one, it looks smaller than Lickitung. Like, what's going on? Game Freak, what's going on, dog? What's going on? Steelix pretty much stayed the exact fucking same. Like, out of everything, out of all the sprites that were on here, it literally stayed the exact same. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Kingdra was very rough. Very rough, Kingdra. I'm glad they refined the fuck out of this. It's much more akin to Seadra, actually. Its backsprite kind of looks like Scyther. But like this actual original beta form, it's much more akin to Seadra. Like with the wings or whatever grows off its back, it looks so much more like Seadra, which I always actually kind of thought a little bit about. Like, Seadra was so aggressive in comparison to the other two. Like, Horsey is like this bubbly little Mon, almost a baby Mon almost. And then Seadra is like so aggressive, and it's just like, dog, relax. And then Kingdra is just like, it's there. Like, it's this giant king of the seas. Like, it doesn't need to be aggressive. No one fucks with it. It's Kingdra, dog. It's just dope. I love Kingdra. Kingdra's one of my favorite Mons. Definitely top 5 Gen 2 Mons, hands down. I love Kingdra. But I would say, as dope as the original version is and how it matches up to Seadra, I would say I like the finalized, refined, actual version of Kingdra that we have now. So much more. It's so much cooler. It's so much cooler. I do like it. I do like it. And seeing as after Kingdra, we now go into Legendary Dogs, does that mean that in the original version, Kingdra was the pseudo-legendary Mon? You had Horsey, Seadra, Kingdra? Was that supposed to be the pseudo-legendary Mon just because of its placement in the Pokedex? Like, that's one of the things. I think Garchomp is the only Mon, only pseudo-legendary that doesn't tick that box, because normally if you are pseudo-legendary, you come before the legends in the Pokedex, but Garchomp isn't. The whole Garchomp line isn't right before the legends in 4th gen. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see. But I guess that wouldn't make sense, because in every generation, the pseudo-legends, it's an entirely new line, and Kingdra was just an evolution. So maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But speaking of legends, pseudo-legends, we have the original legendary dogs. Early Raikou, early Entei, early Suicune. And let me say, they were rough, dog. They were rough. Oh my god, they are so rough. Without a doubt, I would much rather prefer the ones we have now. Super rough. Whoever at Game Freak sat down and said, hey, we should actually make them look like individual dogs. Shout out to you, dog. Dog, this early Suicune looks like Eeyore's sad cousin, dog. Like, oh, dog. Do you think Crystal would have sold like it did if this was on the cover? Do you think it would have sold like it did if this was on the cover? I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. Raikou, I'm going to say this right now. Raikou, I'm kind of 50-50 on. This Raikou is dope. I like this one better because it matches the other two. Like, I like these two much better than these two. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. Only because early Raikou, and this may just be me, but original Raikou we got, this Raikou is ugly as shit. It is so fucking ugly, dog. Raikou has definitely gone under some changes over the years, got a surprise makeover, and has improved tremendously. You don't talk about a glow up, dog. 100%. Early Raikou was ugly as dick, dog. It was so fucking ugly. Even its back sprite. Look at Raikou's back sprite. Dog, it's so ugly. Oh, I tapped the keyboard. Hopefully I didn't stop my recording. It's so fucking ugly. I just scrolled all the way down. Holy shit, it's so ugly. I'm glad they changed them. I'm glad they changed them up. But those are legendary dogs. We have Sneasel. This thing didn't even look like Sneasel. What is this? This is a weasel. Is that what Sneasel is? Sneasel is a weasel. It's a snow weasel. This thing is, rough is the word. It looks like Mew mixed with Mienshao or Mienfu, dog. Yo, what if it did influence Mienfoo? They're both... They are both basically stage 1 mons. Ho is up next, and it kind of almost looks the exact same. I'm glad they changed the sprite. I've seen this Ho sprite somewhere before. In some game, I've seen this original one before somewhere. But I'm glad they did end up actually changing it. His back sprite looks the exact same. Togepi, they changed for the better. Why is this nigga walking away from me? His back sprite in battle, he's walking away from me. Why? Where are you going? Bring that ass back here, boy. I guess it's supposed to be identical to his front sprite, which they didn't change. His back sprite, he's standing still. I guess they realized this looks dumb as shit that you just see his heel. Swap that shit up. Snubbull originally was female only and had no evolution. Togepi had no evolution either. So neither of them evolved. Could you imagine if Togepi had no evolution? That would literally be the worst Pokemon in the game. Togepi would literally be the worst Pokemon in the game if it didn't evolve. That's wild. Snubbull would be right there with it too. Apom is the last thing that we have here. Early Apom. It looks more cat-like than monkey, in my opinion. Definitely so. And the last mon total. Leafeon. Probably the most shocking mon total is Leafeon. It evolves from Eevee with a Leaf Stone. Again, a Gen 4 Pokemon that was originally supposed to be in Gen 2. They were going to give us 3 Eeveelutions in Gen 2. That's wild. And you know what's crazy is that originally in Gold version, Gold and Silver, like Gen 2 was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be it. We were done with Pokemon after that. So the fact that they scrapped these original designs, the fact that they scrapped these mons like Leafeon and Lickilicky and a couple of these other mons, we would have never seen them if Gen 2 hadn't been as successful as it was. We would have never have seen them at all. That's wild. Still to this day, like this Waterfire Seal. We've still never seen that. Bellsprouts or Weepinbell's alternate evolution. We've still never seen that. Some of these baby mons we've still never seen. This Black Cat we haven't seen to this day. So it's still interesting to see what Game Freak has up their sleeve. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy introspective moment on yourself and your own history with the games, where you were when Gold and Silver came out, and just looking back and comparing all this to what we know. Like that's what's different. It's like there's so much that we didn't know and accept as fact from Gen 2, and now to see this, it's just like, whoa, dog, whoa. So of course they did dump the ROM for this. That's where they got all this information from. I thought about playing through it, but it's only in Japanese right now, and it's a demo, so it only goes so far. And because it's like a show floor demo, like you don't have the whole introductory thing. Like you just wake up in your bed and it randomly gives you a starter mon. So it's not like it just randomly gives you a mon. It randomly gives you one of the 3 starters here. So you can't control that. And if you white out, it just restarts the demo, because it's meant to be played like on the show floor at a convention. It's not meant to be this, you know, specifically custom experience for you. You're just supposed to get a feel of the game. So I don't know. Definitely interesting. Where's my Fire Bear, dog? Where's my Dynabear, Game Freak? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think out of all the things I missed out on while my PC was down, this was the one thing that I was definitely itching to get to, because there's just so much to talk about. I say it all the time here on this channel. One thing I love to do is to just have discussions about Pokemon and like compare opinions politely. I know it's the internet, and I said the big bad O word. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all of the leaked demo decks. About the baby mons, the mons we haven't gotten to see yet, that haven't been released, the mons that have inspired future designs, the mons that change design like Bayleaf. You know, let me know what you think about just everything in the comment section below. I'm definitely going to be going through, combing, reading opinions and thoughts and whatnot. But yeah, the inspiration for the discussion is here. I'm ready to have it, goddammit. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This video definitely ended up being much longer than I expected, and I am out of fucking breath. My throat is sore, and I'm hungry as shit. So I'm gonna go take care of all those things. Thank you guys so much for sitting through this whole video and listening to your boy ramble. It's appreciated. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, your boy's outie. Bye, bajillion. Bye!